This video and every video on this channel is made possible by your support on patreon.com/616entertainment. I couldn't do this without you, and your contributions keep this channel alive. You can also grab an official shirt over on prowrestlingtees.com/616entertainment. What's up, DanDans? Welcome to the brand new weekly series here on youtube.com/616entertainment, the Fight Night Championship Tournament. On this show, we're going to be using one of my all-time favorite games, Fight Night Round 4, to determine, once and for all, who is the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Over the next 7 weeks, 8 of the greatest heavyweights to ever lace them up are going to step into the ring, competing in a single elimination tournament. When it's all said and done, we will have our first ever official 616 Entertainment Fight Night Heavyweight Champion. What's up, DanDans? Welcome to the Fight Night Championship Tournament. This is week 2, or episode 2, whatever you want to call it. The bracket continues to fill out. You're seeing it right now. In our first fight, Lennox Lewis beat George Foreman with a 10th round knockout. And now it's time to find out who moves on to face Lennox Lewis in the second round. Will it be this man, the greatest, Muhammad Ali? Or, there's a little shuffle action right there. Or will it be Evander, the real deal Holyfield? Now, if you didn't watch last week, big mistake. See, now you got a spoiler for that first fight. This is why you got to keep up to date every week with the Fight Night Championship Tournament. Get in the comments right now, here in the early going. Who is your pick? Will the greatest Muhammad Ali find himself floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee, punching his ticket to the second round against Lennox Lewis? Or will it be the real deal, Evander Holyfield? And what's interesting with that premise is, if Ali wins, we've never seen Ali versus Lennox Lewis in real life. Obviously, like I said last week, we've established there's real life and then there's the 616 verse. In real life, we never could have seen Ali versus Holyfield. We never could have seen Ali versus Lennox Lewis, because they're just from different generations. They're from different periods of time. But here in the 616 verse, time is a flat circle, to quote True Detective. Time does not exist, so these dream fights are possible. Did you hear I said that? I said it like a fucking weird pirate. But that's the interesting part about it, is Ali versus Lewis never happened. Impossible. Take two. Lewis versus Holyfield. What would be really interesting about Evander Holyfield picking up a win here is that would be Lewis versus Holyfield 3, as Ali lands a stinger of a left uppercut there off the dodge. That was the best punch of the fight so far. We have seen Lewis versus Holyfield twice in real life, and that did not work out so well for Evander Holyfield. Up against Lennox Lewis, Holyfield's got a record of 0-1-1. Not good. Not good. Oh man, Ali was cooking up a right hand there and it didn't land. And we're seeing Holyfield landing quite a bit here. Oh, there's a straight right, a piston-like straight right. We're seeing Holyfield drop the bombs here, and this is pretty incredible. Now, DanDans, you might be wondering, where is the clock? There is no clock. I turned the HUD off. These rounds are 3 minutes apiece. That's 3 minutes in real time, so we could be looking at a total of 36 minutes here if this goes to decision. 12 3-minute rounds. But also, where's the stamina gauge? Where's the health gauge? I turned all that shit off because they're spoilers. You know, when you watch boxing in real life, you watch MMA in real life, there's no health bar, there's no stamina bar. You don't want to know that stuff. We want to be taken by surprise, you understand? So even between rounds, the health and stamina and the damage meters are going to... Oh! Ali stings him! Ali stings Holyfield with a right hand here in the first round! Holyfield opts not to clinch. Didn't try to grab onto Ali there and steady himself. He had confidence. He had confidence in the fact that he was going to be able to find his legs, and he did. But what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by some crazy action right there. Look at Holyfield raising the hand. He's the one who got hurt, but Holyfield, he might be trying to sway the judges right there. And you can see on the screen right now, maybe it's a sensor, maybe it's a 616 logo, I don't know. But I'm blocking out the health, stamina, and damage meters because you don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? We want to be on our toes. We want to be on the edge of our seats here. And like I said on week 1, it's the last time I'm going to say it, I promise. A little bit of blood there on the left cheek of Muhammad Ali. Like I said in week 1, and I'm not going to repeat this all the time, these fights could end at any given moment. But if somebody's damage meter is like full, we don't want to know, like, oh, in the next round, if he gets hit once, it's over. That takes all the anticipation away. And speaking of anticipation, Evander Holyfield is not cooking up the suspense here. He's not laying back. He's getting right into Ali's face, and he's throwing some leather. Not to be outdone, the greatest is answering right back. Was a little outside there. Was looking for that shuffle punch to the midsection. Did not land. But Holyfield is sticking here. He's moving. Ali's trying to remain on the outside, but when you're in there with a guy like Evander Holyfield, that's not easy. And one of the things I like to do here is I like to mix up the play-by-play with a little bit of boxing knowledge, a little bit of boxing trivia, some background on these guys in real life. Ooh, man. Holyfield went for a straight right there, very similar to the one that hurt him in the first round, but Ali was on the outside. Couldn't quite land it. In the matchup department, as far as the size of these guys go, this is as close to dead even as it gets. Evander Holyfield, 6'2", Muhammad Ali, 6'3". Evander Holyfield, 215 pounds, Muhammad Ali, 214 pounds. Evander Holyfield's got a 78-inch reach, Muhammad Ali, 80-inch reach. He's got 2 inches in reach, but this is not, it's very similar to the picture I painted during Lewis versus Foreman from last week. This is not the Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. These guys are very evenly matched. And right now, Ali is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. He's saying, we're not evenly matched. Look at me landing on this man. Look at me getting out of the way of this guy's punches. But that's Ali just trying to, he's trying to spin up a story. He's trying to drum up a little something for you to buy into here. But Holyfield's not buying into it. Muhammad Ali is bleeding from that left cheek, and Ali's getting inside here, and he's throwing jabs. A lot of them are getting parried. Holyfield is not taking this fight laying down. You got it. Oh, look at that right hand to the guts. He's trying to take the air out of Ali's lungs. He's trying to drive the wind out of the sails. You have to imagine, this is a fight that Evander Holyfield took more seriously than any fight ever in his career. Oh, man. Both guys throwing. I think Holyfield got the better of it there. And in this matchup, we've got 2 orthodox fighters. And if you're not familiar with that... Oh, did you see that? Let me interrupt myself right there. Ali lands to the gut, and Holyfield takes it to answer back, but that 2 inches of reach is making a tremendous difference so far. You know, it's only 2 inches. That doesn't seem like a lot, but you know what the greats say. A great boxer doesn't make you miss by a mile. A great boxer makes you miss by an inch. You know what I'm saying? And Ali is making Holyfield miss by an inch right there. As we are headed into the 3rd round. I don't remember what I was talking about. I was like, I'm going to interrupt myself for a second here, but I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. Goodness gracious, DanDans. How are you enjoying this first big new phase of 616 Entertainment here in 2022? You know, Monday Night Blitz has come and gone. The Fight Night Championship Tournament is here to stay. We are going to crown an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world when the smoke clears. But Let's Play Friday has come to an end as well. In its place, we are playing through the entirety of BioShock, one of my favorite games of all time, much like this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's almost like I don't waste my time doing shit I don't want to do. It's almost like I specifically focus on things I like, because I think authenticity is what drives the relationship between you and I. I think you can tell, oh man, what a right hand from Ali, and an answer back, a right hand from Holyfield. I think it makes a difference when the person that you're watching or listening to is covering a subject that they care about. You know, I could be giving you weekly updates on Madden or MLB The Show or WWE 2K22. I could, but I don't care about that stuff as much as I care about BioShock or as much as I care about Fight Night. You know what I mean? So I think authenticity matters, and I think it specifically matters to you guys. I think, number one, you would be able to tell if I was just delivering bullshit because I thought it's something that would draw. I think you guys would notice. Number two, I think you guys would call me out. Oh man, I thought Foreman was going to launch a devastating right uppercut there, and he thought better of it. I don't know why. But I do genuinely think that you guys would hold me accountable if I started delivering bullshit that I didn't care about. And I appreciate that about you guys. I appreciate every single one of you who watches not only the Fight Night Championship Tournament, but the BioShock playthrough, 616 Nitro, the Life and Death series, which at this point, I think you guys have seen the Life and Death of Motorstorm, and you know the Life and Death of Turok is right around the corner. I appreciate every single one of you who watches these shows and leaves comments, and I appreciate all of you who have gone out of your way to support the channel over on patreon.com/616entertainment. Look, at this point, I hope we're looking at right around 89,000 subscribers on this channel. About 120 of you have signed up to support the channel on Patreon. And I'm sure there are people out there who are just like, oh man, only 120 people out of 89,000? Look, I fucking appreciate that 120 people to the ends of the earth. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't take any of it for granted. You guys make this shit possible, for real. So thank you very much. As these guys are going to war, I'm taking the time to talk about the shows. I'm taking the time to say thank you. And once again, did you see that? The real deal walked to his corner when the bell rang, and he put that hand in the air. Holyfield believes in himself. Holyfield thinks he's out here putting this shit on Ali's plate. And he says, you know what, I'm going to serve you shit and you're going to like it. Now, that's one possibility. That's one possibility, that Holyfield thinks that he's forcing Ali to eat shit out here. The other possibility is he might not feel as confident as he seems. He might not be glowing and brimming with confidence the way that we feel he is, because that's what he's representing. Holyfield might be trying to sway these judges. There is a chance that he's throwing some of these punches from too far out and they're not landing, and maybe that's getting to him mentally, but he's not going to allow us to see that. Holyfield is not going to allow the perception to be that he's frustrated. You know, some people say perception is reality. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but some people feel that way. Ali lands with a stiff jab. Holyfield lands with the jab of his own. Now, speaking of George Foreman, he started strong last week, but he got knocked out by Lennox. He got knocked out by Lennox Lewis in the 10th round. Oh man, Ali was shuffling. He was floating there, and Holyfield said, what are you doing, sucker? Lands with a lead uppercut right to the breadbasket. That's bad news if you're Muhammad Ali. I had a feeling that this tournament was going to be great. I thought we were in for fireworks, and so far I have not been proven wrong. There is one thing I want to mention right now. Last week, oh man, great right hand from Holyfield there. Last week, we saw George Foreman versus Lennox Lewis, and they were in the MGM Grand. That's a big arena. Here we've got Muhammad Ali versus Evander Holyfield, and if you are looking at the background, you might notice that we are in the Royal London Theatre. Now, in actuality, could Holyfield and Ali, if it were possible, could they have sold out a much bigger arena? Yes, of course they could. This fight would not have taken place in a theater, but in the interest of keeping this show looking fresh and fun, we're going to be bouncing all over the place. We're going to be at the Staples Center. We're going to be here at the Royal London Theatre. We're going to check out the MGM Grand. We're headed to the Boardwalk Hall. You're probably going to see the Metro Manila Arena. I'm going to try and give as... Oh, man, what a combination there from Ali. And Holyfield looks like he might be shedding some blood on that left side. Hard to tell right now. We'll get a closer look in between rounds. But yeah, for the sake of visual variety, we're going to be bouncing around all over the place. So, if you were going to leave a comment like, why the fuck is this blockbuster showdown taking place in a theater? That's why. Save it. Say something else. Say something nice. Oh, what a stinger of a right hand there from Ali. This is big business here. We're seeing Ali on his bike. He's keeping the pressure on, but he's not consistently walking forward the way George Foreman was. Again, that was weird. Muhammad Ali throwing a weird punch there. Might have had a muscle spasm there in that right shoulder. We saw George Foreman walking down Lennox Lewis in that first fight. And in the end, when the dust cleared, didn't work out for Foreman. Got knocked out late in the 10th round. He got knocked out cold. But Ali here is not constantly walking forward. He's pressuring Holyfield, but then he's easing up. He's pressuring Holyfield, he's easing up. And there, as they put that cold compress, that's not a cold compress, that's an ice pack. As they put the ice pack on Holyfield's left cheek there, we can see no blood has been shed. Called that one a little too soon, but rest assured, the damage is being done. Speaking of blood, I thought we saw a little bit of blood before on the left side of Ali, but the camera's not really giving us a great shot there. But forget about the camera. It's time to think about round 5. And Ali is opening up in a big way. Look at this. Holyfield with a right hand straight down the middle. Finds Muhammad Ali. And it looks like when Holyfield is throwing these big, cooked up power shots, they're not necessarily finding a home, but his quick right down the pipeline punches are finding Ali. And maybe that's something that he should adjust to. Maybe that's a game plan he should pick up. Maybe stop throwing for where Muhammad Ali is. Maybe start throwing for where he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Tremendous stuff from both guys here. When I say Holyfield is not... Oh man, that was an instantly fast punch from Ali that found its way to the dome of Evander Holyfield. When I say Holyfield's big looping hooks aren't necessarily finding a home, up to this point, Evander Holyfield is the guy in this tournament with the least amount of knockouts. You know, 44 wins in his professional career, 29 by knockout. Now, 29 knockouts is nothing to sneeze at. But if we're going through just the other 3 guys we've seen so far, Muhammad Ali, 37 knockouts. Lennox Lewis, a little closer, 32 knockouts. George Foreman, 68 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? That's more than twice the amount that Evander Holyfield has under his belt. Now, did they have a big discrepancy in the amount of fights that they had? Sure. But, I mean, the stats are the stacks. Oh, look at that! I can't even speak because these guys are just dropping bombs on each other. It was a left uppercut from Ali that really caught my attention there. That was what I was trying to say, and I couldn't quite get the words out. Ali, you know what? This sounds like a crazy thing to say, but I think Ali might be dancing around a little too much. He's parrying some of these shots from Holyfield, and the ones that he's not parrying, he's slipping them. And instead of just launching back with an attack of his own, he's dancing around. You've already got him wide open, just sting him. And he's not quite doing it, and I think that might be a mistake. But at the same time, who am I to doubt the greatest? You know? A guy who made a career out of dancing around his opponents before he finally put that needle in their arm and hit that lethal injection. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck am I to judge? One of the things I was saying earlier, and then I forgot what I was talking about. Somehow I just remembered, because I think it re-dawned on me. Two orthodox fighters here. And if you are not familiar with what that term means, that means both of these guys are right-handed. Their power punch is their right punch. If you're right-handed, you step forward with your left. You know, your left hand, your jab, that's your setup. Your right hand hangs back because that's that one you cook. for the big power. And DanDans, I'm going to ask you again. Early on, before that bell even rang, I asked you, who do you think walks away with this fight? Who gets their hand raised as the winner? But now, heading into the 6th round, we are just about halfway through this fight. Nobody has been put down just yet. Also, I'm not sure who's winning. Like I said on week 1, it's hard to keep track of who's winning each round when you're doing commentary on it. You know what I mean? I'm not only talking about these guys' past accomplishments in real life, but I'm also talking about what we can expect going forward, and I'm painting the picture. I'm storytelling here. I'm trying to build... Oh, man! What a right hand from Evander Holyfield, and Ali is hurt. Ali is hurt in a big way. He clinches up and... I almost called him Foreman again. Holyfield pushes him off. Man, that's the first time somebody's got stung since the first round. And at this point, Holyfield and Ali, I think, are on equal footing. Both of these guys have hurt the other, I think, exactly once. Now, on week 1, in the 6th round, George Foreman's back had already been on the canvas. He got up and he hurt Lennox Lewis a number of times. This is a much more methodical, much more... not tedious, but strategist fight, I guess you could say. I don't think that's really the right way to put it. But instead of bomb after bomb after bomb, we're seeing these guys both sticking to a game plan, trying not to get crazy, as Holyfield lands a beautiful 1-2. Once again, wasn't a power shot that he hit Ali with right there. There's the 1-2 again. If you're not a big boxing fan, you don't know what the numbers mean. A 1-2 is a jab straight. 2 punches right down the pipeline, not looping, not powerful punches. Just bing bang, 1-2, jab straight. I feel like when Holyfield's throwing that 1-2, it's landing. There it is again. That's the third beautiful 1-2 that we've seen both of them find a way home. And I feel like here in these middle rounds, this middle round to be more exact, I feel like Holyfield might be starting to figure Muhammad Ali out. And what a feather in the cap, what a win it would be for Evander Holyfield to put the greatest down. You know? I told you last week, the Fight Night Championship Tournament, this weekly show, was birthed by an episode of Let's Play Friday, where we simmed the old... Oh man, what a right hand from Holyfield. We simmed Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson, the ultimate dream fight. And I told you last week to watch it. I didn't want to spoil it. But Muhammad Ali beat Mike Tyson by decision in the ultimate dream fight. That episode of Let's Play Friday drew well. You guys liked it, and you told me you wanted to see more. That's how I knew that the Fight Night Championship Tournament would be able to hold its footing as its own spin-off show, and here we are. But I gotta say, man, I think Ali looked better against Tyson than he's currently looking against Holyfield. And I might be crazy. I might be off about that. But now, halfway through this fight, I feel like Ali had a handle on Tyson. I don't know. I feel like Holyfield is getting better and better the more we see him. And as I say that, there was a cut opened up on the left orbital of Evander Holyfield. The blood was dripping. Ali, other than a little bit of redness, maybe a little bit of swelling, still looking clean as a whistle. Not a hair out of place, you know what I'm saying? Which is kind of unbelievable. But heading into round 7 here, nobody's back has been on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's butt has touched the ground. And Ali looked like he tried to duck under that right hand of Holyfield there, but I don't think he quite made it. What I would like to see is Ali to quit taunting so much. There, as I say it, he does it again. I feel like he parried Holyfield, and he could have stuck him with a right hand, and instead he shuffled. I don't think Holyfield is a guy that Ali can shuffle against. But maybe, and you know what? I was going to say, maybe I'm talking out of school, but right there, we just saw it. Ali didn't take the time to dance, and he stuck him. I would like to see more of that because Holyfield's opening up here. And as he's opening up, he's finding spots. He's finding spots on Ali. Don't get it twisted. And it's not like it's insane that Holyfield is landing on Ali. Evander Holyfield is a medalist in the 1984 Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The guy walked home with a bronze medal. And if you're really cynical, you're going, okay, a bronze medal. It's not silver, it's not gold. He medaled in the Olympics. You know how many people can say that? Not a lot of people. Evander Holyfield, I mean, this is a guy who has a win over the Easton assassin, Larry Holmes. Oh, you know Larry Holmes, the guy who brutalized Muhammad Ali late in Ali's career? That's a big one. Some fans may remember the name Buster Douglas. You know Buster Douglas, right? The guy who knocked out Mike Tyson in Japan? The guy who derailed the Tyson hype train? You know what happened in Douglas's very next fight? Got knocked the fuck out by Evander Holyfield in the third round. You know, Tyson is the guy who has all the fame. He's got a ton of cachet. But Buster Douglas beats Mike Tyson, then he gets his ass whooped by Evander Holyfield. And, Evander Holyfield, he fought Tyson a couple times, right? Yeah, he did. You know Evander Holyfield's win-loss record over Mike Tyson? 2-0. And listen, once again, we're going to talk about famous moments. We're going to talk about memorable moments. Everybody remembers the disqualification. Mike Tyson bites Evander Holyfield's ear off. How many of you remember Evander Holyfield TKOing Mike Tyson in the 11th round in the first fight? The ear bite, the DQ, that was the rematch. In the first fight, Holyfield finished Tyson, fair and square, on the up and up. You know, these are the things that I feel like we have to talk about. I mentioned that Evander Holyfield holds a win over Larry Holmes, and that Larry Holmes holds a win over Muhammad Ali. When I say these are the things we have to mention, I should also toss in that Muhammad Ali should have never been in there against Larry Holmes. Ali was way too old and way too shot to be in there with a bruiser like Larry Holmes. It never should have happened. I would like to recommend the 30 for 30 that ESPN put out, where it covers the Ali versus Holmes fight. It's really incredible to see behind-the-scenes footage, training footage of a fight that took place that long ago. It's kind of insane to see that shit, but I say that just because I want it to be noted that Ali should never have fought Larry Holmes on that day. He should have been long retired. He was pushed into that fight for the wrong reasons. He took that fight for the wrong reasons. But also, I don't know if I mentioned this at the top, Evander Holyfield comes into this fight, or I should say in real life, he retired with a record of 44, 10, and 2. And he's the only guy so far with double-digit losses, you know, suffered 10 official losses in his career. I would like to note, much like Ali was too old to be fighting Larry Holmes, half of Evander Holyfield's losses came in his 40s. I don't know if a lot of people know this. Evander Holyfield was fighting up until he was 48 years old. What a disgusting left uppercut to the body from Ali right there. Evander Holyfield was taking professional fights up until he was 48 years old. And in one of the saddest things that we've ever seen in combat sports, Holyfield just fought Vitor Belfort, former UFC light heavyweight champion, in an exhibition boxing match last year at 58 years old. That never should have happened. It was fucking gross. It was disgusting. But we're talking about guys being too old, eating losses late in their career. Both of these guys that you're seeing right now did it. But that's what's so beautiful here on the Fight Night Championship Tournament. That's what's so beautiful about the 616 verse. We don't have to worry about these guys' brains and the damage they're taking, because number one, this is all digital, and number two, this is the 616 verse. Nobody is too old to be in the ring right now. Everybody you're seeing are in their prime. Speaking of prime, Holyfield just dropped a prime right hand to the fucking left side of Muhammad Ali. You want to do some damage to the kidneys, you're going to be aiming down there to the body. And we took a second. Oh, there's another right hand to the body from Holyfield, who's really starting to focus on driving the air out of the lungs of the greatest here. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, run out of gas like a fucking semi-truck who couldn't make it to the station in time. You know what I'm saying? Goodness gracious, we talked about Evander Holyfield's record, 44 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws. How about we go across the ring to Muhammad Ali? 56-5. Are you nuts? 56-5, 37 of those wins coming by way of devastating knockout. But you know, neither of these guys are slouches. That goes without saying, you know? To even bring up, oh, neither of these guys are slouches. You think this is a tournament to crown the greatest heavyweight boxer ever? And I'm sitting here talking about nobody's a slouch. Holy jeez, man. We are getting into the deep water here. The real deep water. 9th round, nobody's been down. This is really crazy. And like I said on the opening week, Lennox Lewis versus George Foreman, just because a fight is long does not mean a fight is boring. You know, some of these fights are going to go to decision, but they're going to be nail biters the whole way. Like I said, I don't know who's winning. I have no idea who's winning this fight. As we head into the 9th round here, both of these guys still with a ton of gusto. Both of these guys still with gas in the tank. As Ali lands a nice lead uppercut there. Oh man, look at that. Giving and taking, back and forth. Both guys landing at will. Oh, beautiful slip into a jab from Holyfield. Man, when you slip like that, you maybe should be looking for a devastating right hook, but instead Holyfield decides to just pitter-patter with a jab. Maybe it was in that split second he didn't have time to go, you know what, maybe a power punch is what the doctor ordered. Maybe he just wanted to throw something that was going to land, and there he did it again. A beautiful slip answers with a jab. Holyfield, oh, there's a power shot for you. Holyfield, I feel, for the most part, is going for what he knows is going to work. There's a devastating lead uppercut to the body. And I just got to say, I might be off my rocker. I might be talking out of my fucking ace. But I kind of feel like Holyfield might be winning this fight. He might be. Or we could be seeing some accidental bias here. We're coming in. I wasn't sure who was going to win. But after beating Mike Tyson, maybe my instincts, my gut, was telling me that Ali might walk away with this. So, oh, there's a stinger of a right uppercut. I'm in the middle of putting Holyfield over to the moon, and Ali says, shut your bitch ass up. But instead of punching me in the face, he punches Evander in the face. Man, I'll take it. I don't want to be eating right uppercuts from Muhammad Ali. And much like nobody has been put down so far, both of these guys are so sound defensively that this is much more of a chess match than it is rock'em sock'em robots. And you know, some of these fights are going to wind up looking like that. I am very interested to see Smokin' Joe Frazier getting in there with the Tommy gun, Tommy Morrison, which is next week's fight. Frazier versus Morrison. That is going to be 2 wrecking balls hung on either side of fucking New York City, dropping down and meeting in the middle. That's going to be incredible. Here we got big time strategy. We got a chess match. But that's the beauty of boxing, man. That's the beauty of the Fight Night Championship Tournament here on youtube.com/616 Entertainment. You want to talk about some beauty, too. You want to look at Muhammad Ali's priors in this tournament. I mean, when we're looking at Muhammad Ali and his history against the fighters in the Fight Night Championship Tournament here, how did Muhammad Ali fare against George Foreman? Win by knockout. How did Muhammad Ali do against next week's combatant, Joe Frazier? Muhammad Ali, in the trilogy, finished with 2 wins over over Joe Frazier. And that ain't too bad. In the 616 verse, you got to factor in Muhammad Ali takes a decision win over Mike Tyson. So if you weren't doing the math right there, that's a 4-1 record against other combatants in this tournament for Muhammad Ali. Now, if we're looking at Evander Holyfield's priors against these guys, does it look way better? Does it look way worse? You tell me. Evander Holyfield was in there against Lennox Lewis twice. Didn't do so well. 0-1-1. 0 wins in 2 fights against Lennox Lewis. But in real life, Evander Holyfield against Mike Tyson, you got Holyfield up 2-0. As these guys are going to war here, throwing big bombs, big bombs. But also in real life, you got Evander Holyfield with a decision win over last week's competitor, George Foreman, which gives Evander Holyfield in this bracket a 3-1-1 record. Both of these guys against common competition here in this tournament look great. That's what we know. These are the facts. These are the big time facts. You know what I'm saying? As Foreman's trying to sneak in here, Ali moving around, bang bang, stang stang. I feel like I've been talking a lot about Holyfield's offense and how he's been getting around Ali's defense. Maybe I should be watching Ali a little closer here. Maybe we should be watching the greatest a little closer here. And he eats a devastating 1-2. Beautiful stuff from Holyfield. I'm trying to watch Ali. But Holyfield's the one who's impressing me right now. Oh, look at that! Oh, man, back and forth. Didn't even have time to talk about Holyfield's shot before Ali answered back with a beautiful strike of his own. And DanDans, like I said, there's no reason that if this show does well, we cannot do a follow. Oh, beautiful shot. He danced on him, and then he hit him right in the fucking rib cage from Muhammad Ali there. That's why they call him the greatest. If this season does well, there's no reason why there can't be a season 2 where we either look at the welterweight division, the lightweight division, the middleweight division, or if you guys are interested in a little bit of other flavors of combat sports, we could do a beautiful tournament in one of the UFC games. We got a lot of possibilities on the table. You guys are going to determine the future of combat sports content here on this channel. And like I always say, everything is going to constantly be evolving around here. We've covered Resident Evil in depth. That's survival horror. We've covered Mortal Kombat in depth. That's a fighting game. This here is a sports simulation game. This is combat sports. Wrestling games out the fucking wazoo. Through the life and death, we just had MotorStorm. That's a racing series. I'm going to constantly be delivering new content to you guys because I don't want to just be the Mortal Kombat guy. I don't want to just be the wrestling guy. And that's the thing. I don't think you guys are just Mortal Kombat fans or just wrestling fans. I think we have an eclectic group of DanDans here who like to see all different kinds of shit. But at the same time, I think we have a group of DanDans here who, heading into this next round, the 11th round, the penultimate round, I think we got a group of DanDans here who want to see somebody touch the mat. We want to see some keister on canvas. You know what I'm saying? Pop down there in the comments right now and let me know, is Muhammad Ali going to taste the mat here in the 11th round? Is Evander Holyfield going to lock eyes with the floor here in the 11th round? You never know. We have a chant for Ali in the crowd here at the Royal London Theatre. Man, we're all the way across the world from that first fight in MGM Grand. You know what I'm saying? We got Holyfield over there cooking up a big left hook. Missed wide. Ali was nowhere to be found. You know, I said earlier, great boxers make you miss by an inch, not a mile. Ali has made Holyfield miss by an inch and a mile here. And there's a stick. Look at that. Ali, much like Holyfield, I commented on earlier, not throwing hook after hook. This isn't Joe Frazier. This isn't George Foreman. This is the greatest. He's going bang, bang. He's getting in there. These are not nuclear strikes. These are 12-gauge slugs. You know what I'm saying? Just because Ali's not putting his whole ass behind it doesn't mean that shit don't hurt. That doesn't mean he's not getting inside. But I'm on pins and needles here, man. This is a nail biter. Monday Night Blitz, we had a number of nail biters with Handy Dandy Andy Jarek, where we did not know down to the final seconds, were Andy's Steelers going to walk away with the victory, or was it going to be stripped from him in the final seconds? That's how this fight feels to me. It's looking like we might go to the judges' scorecards, and my gut is telling me that Holyfield is winning this fight handily, but I could be way off. I don't know. That's the fun. I mean, last week, after the final bell tolled, and Lennox Lewis scored a knockout win over George Foreman to advance into the second round, when I saw those judges' scorecards, and it was almost across the board a domination from Lennox Lewis, I don't feel like that's the fight I was watching. But, again, I'm telling stories here. I'm doing play-by-play. I'm a one-man booth here on the commentary position. I almost said commentary team, but there's only one of me. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no I in team. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, man. I thought Ali was cooking up something right there, and he ducked right into a lead uppercut from the Real Deal. They've called Holyfield the Real Deal for decades up to this point. But if he can secure a win over Muhammad Ali in what I would call an upset, that moniker of Real Deal will never have been more legit than it will be at that point. Oh, there's a stinger. And I do feel that this 11th round was the lightest round that we have seen up to this point. And if I'm judging by body language alone, when that bell sounded, you may have noticed a difference in how both fighters reacted. When that bell sounded, Holyfield looked like that's what's up, and Ali looked like he was feeling a sense of relief. Ali looked like he heard that bell and thought, finally, I can rest. Holyfield's not looking like he needs as much rest as Ali. Look at these deep breaths in the corner. They're putting the ice on him. Coach is saying, take a sip of this water. You got to recover. This is the final round. Ali versus Holyfield. Who faces Lennox Lewis in the second round of the Fight Night Championship tournament? Now, like I said, I did not cede the beautiful shot to the ribs from Muhammad Ali. And I think Ali needs a lot more of that here if he's going to look to walk away with a victory. I did not seed this bracket in a way where I was trying to, kind of work the finals. There was no thought put into, okay, I'm going to give Ali an easy fight, I'm going to give Tyson an easy fight, because I wanted to come down to Ali versus Tyson 2 in the finals. Would it be totally sick to see Ali versus Tyson 2 in the finals? Sure. But Holyfield might be on the verge right now of upsetting the apple cart in a big, big way. And who knows, man, the final fight of this opening round is Tyson versus Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? You know what Roy likes to say. Y'all must have forgot. Everyone's going to be thinking that Tyson's going to walk in there and try and storm through Roy. But listen, Roy Jones might not be as famous a name as Mike Tyson is, but if you guys have never gone on YouTube and looked up Roy Jones Jr. highlights, you must. Because Roy Jones Jr. was a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. If you are an MMA fan, and you're a big Anderson Silva fan, and you loved the way that Anderson would make guys miss and then make them pay, look, Anderson Silva, other than Spider-Man, Anderson's biggest hero in life was Roy Jones Jr. Anderson Silva matrixing Forrest Griffin and then putting him down for the count, that was right out of the Roy Jones Jr. playbook. Don't get me wrong. Holyfield is landing big here, and Ali, there you go. Once again, that had to be the 25th fucking time that Ali slipped a punch, and then instead of stinging him, he danced. And someone needs to get Muhammad, they need to get in his fucking ear. It's too late now. But I think in the early going, they should have gotten his ear in that corner and said, you know what? The judges are probably popping. They're probably laughing when you dance like that. But you know what they would really notice? Is a fucking right hand down the middle. I don't know, man. We got to be in the final seconds here of Ali versus Holyfield. And I feel like Holyfield's winning. Again, I could be way off. You guys who are watching this and you don't have to do commentary, you might be like, what are you talking about? But my guts tell me that this is an Evander Holyfield win. And when I'm editing this, I might be seeing it back going, you're crazy. But let's see how the judges score it. Ali doesn't look very confident. Holyfield with a smile on his face. Evander, the real deal Holyfield, with the upset of the century. The greatest Muhammad Ali is eliminated in the first round. And we're looking at the cards. That is a close fight. And it comes down to a split decision win for Evander Holyfield. Oh my goodness. Who could have seen that coming? That means you're seeing the updated bracket right now. In the second round, we're going to see Lewis. That's twice I've done that. We're going to see Lewis versus Holyfield 3. Unbelievable. I cannot even get over this, DanDans. Next week, smoking Joe Frazier steps into the ring against the Tommy Gun, Tommy Morrison. Somebody's getting knocked the fuck out. That is for sure. DanDans, thank you very much for watching the Fight Night Championship Tournament. I love you. And I'll see you next week.